Happy Channelversary! Guys, we're hosting a Channelversary party here on our very own channel here. So, please sit back, relax, and get ready for the amazing adventure that is the Channelversary. Now you may ask, what is a Channelversary? And to that I'll say, it's a channel anniversary. And we have made it far enough that we have made it an entire year in our Minecraft worlds. And on this very Minecraft channel. That's right, a whole year since I posted my very first video. That's pretty cool, I think at least. From the bottom of my heart though, guys, thank you so very much for getting me up to almost 700 subscribers in a year. That's insanity. I really, truly appreciate all of you guys liking, sharing, commenting, everything that you guys have done to get me up to this point. I really appreciate it. Thank you. This win is as big about my stuff as it is about yours. So thank you. Truly and honestly. Just to give you some random statistics in case you're curious, last year we had 584 comments, a total of 488,989 views, 874 hours of watch time, and of course 682 of you decided to subscribe to this channel and support me further. Not to mention all the lovely fan art we've gotten over the past year. For instance, fan art from Ponab97, fan art from Pumpkin Pie 970, and fan art from Stickmaster Luke. Show them some love in the comments. Don't feel obligated, but if you want to, please feel free to go follow them on their TikToks, because those three were all on TikTok. If you guys are interested in sharing your work, artwork, fan art, anything, please feel free to use the new community tab that I just set up. Just try and keep it family friendly on there. By the way, if you're new to my channel, consider subscribing. I make lots of content and I'd be happy to have you on board. I would also like to mention that something big is about to happen on theTurt yet again. In case you're not aware of that second channel, please go ahead and take a look, because this Friday, a new series begins. And it's not Minecraft. And now to start the Q&A. FroggyGirl3533 asked me two questions. One of them, what's your favorite song/music artist? To that question, I'm not totally sure. For a long time. I used to go to this music festival and work it as a cameraman, and it was called Delfest. One of the musicians there, it was a group called the Broomestix. They're a big inspiration for me in terms of music because, I don't know, they are pretty cool people, pretty chill. So I would say at least it used to be those people. Nowadays I'm really getting into Laufey. Laufey's pretty cool. She makes some pretty good tunes, I would say. So yeah, those are your two options. The Broomestix are way lesser known, so please check them out if you haven't. They're kind of an R&B, jazzy situation, so if you're into any of that, give it a whirl. And Froggy Girl also asked, what gives me motivation? Well, it's a combination of things. You guys are a very big inspiration for me. I really appreciate all the kind comments and all the nice things that you guys have said, and likes and shares and replies and everything. Just makes my day, so I appreciate that every single time you do it. But another thing that gives me a lot of motivation to keep going is my wife. She is absolutely everything to me, and when she tells me that I have a good idea or a good concept or something along those lines, I know that it's good because she's a lot smarter than me. So long story short, yeah. So yeah, you guys give me motivation and my wife gives me motivation, and I know that this can be something someday because of you guys and my wife. So thank you, the missus, and thank you, you guys. Next up is from Fartle King Piggy, and they ask, what is the origin of the Turt name? Where did it come from? And the profile picture, where did that come from too? There's a little bit of a story. So yeah, we'll do that. I used to watch this show with my dad, and now I'm watching it with my wife, so that's great. And it was called Scrubs. There's a character in that named Turk, and sometimes they would say he was the Turk, right? So yeah. Anyway, flash forward a couple years, I'm in college, and I decide that I think it would be funny to watch the dance that the Turk came up with that's called the Turk, and watch it for 10 straight hours on my computer while in school. Don't do this at school. This was a colossal waste of my time, and it probably hurt my grades. But anyway, so I'm in college and I'm watching this, and then my friends ask me if I want to join their Minecraft server. I don't have Java Edition, so I'm like, I don't know if I can. I'd love to, but I don't think that it's feasible. And they're like, that's okay. We'll give you the codes and everything if you ever do get Java Edition, and then you can join. Oh yeah, all good stuff. Yeah, happy. Couple days later, my wife, actually it probably wasn't a couple days later. Anyway, my wife and me are chilling in my dorm room, and I was like, I would really like to get Minecraft. Lo and behold, my birthday was pretty much right around the corner, I believe. And she was like, I'll buy it for you. And so I got Minecraft on my computer. And then I was like, well, now I need a skin. So I knew that once I got Java Edition that I was thinking about starting a YouTube channel like this one. And so I wanted to pick a name that people haven't seen before. I went through a couple options, and I didn't really want to put numbers at the end of my name. That's fine if you have numbers at the end of your name. I don't really mind. It's just for me, I didn't want that. So because of that, I looked at it maybe a little bit more critically, and so my first couple options, I was gonna be Monkey Boy, I was gonna be a couple different things, and none of the options were available. And so I was like, what if I was the Turk? Type that in, that was taken. Obviously, big franchise is Scrubs, so someone took that long before I thought about taking it. And then I was like, well, I don't want to be the Turk 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. I'd rather be something myself. So I came across the idea of what if it was the Turt, and then because of the name, I looked up the skin of a Turt, like a turtle Minecraft skin, and this one came up, and I was like, this looks like a dapper gentleman. I would like to be this guy. And then because of that, I came up later when I started my YouTube channel, I came up with the logo myself. I drew it myself in Adobe, and because I was in multimedia school in college, and therefore I needed Adobe products on my computer just to make things easier on myself. But yeah, that's the long story, I suppose. The short story is I got it from Scrubs, so yeah, and then I designed the logo myself. There you go. Long story and short story. Woo! LemX2 commented, what's your favorite song? And to that, it's a hard decision. There's so many good songs and music out there that I don't know if I can choose just one. But if I really had to, So Easy to Fall in Love by Olivia Dean is a really good, really chill vibe song. I really do enjoy that one. So that'd probably be my choice. Alright, next person who asked the question asked a decent amount of questions. So strap in, here we go. DPRK155 Marine Brigade. I'm gonna call you DPRK. Hope that's fine. Anyway, DPRK asked, what's your favorite fictional universe? Is their first question. I gotta say probably Marvel. Marvel's a big, fun franchise for me. I've always liked Marvel, so I'll probably go with Marvel. Next question. Do you have a degree? And if you do, what did you study? Well, yes, I do have a degree. It is in multimedia technology. And yeah, that's basically the people who make commercials, take pictures at weddings, make videos for people. So yeah, I got a little bit of influence from that. I wanted to be a director. That was my stepping stone to become a director, and that didn't work out. But I'm okay with that because I'm happy where I am. So not really upset at all. What's my favorite Star Wars episode? And what is my opinion on the Disney trilogy? Is the next question. Okay, episode 5 is probably my favorite. It's hard to say because episode 3 is just so good as well. It's just, I don't know. I have a decent amount of nostalgia for episode 5. That was the order that we watched them in when I was growing up, was going from episode 4 to 5, then or 4 to 6, and then 1 to 3, and then we went to see the new Disney trilogy. So yeah, that's just kind of how I rolled with it. But in terms of other things, the Disney trilogy, here's my opinion. The Disney trilogy could have been good. They just kept second guessing themselves. And that's a hill I'll die on. Because episode 7, yeah, it kind of felt like just a rehash of episode 4, sure. But episode 4 was a good foundation. And they changed enough in the story that I feel like they could have kept going with it and it would have been fine. Meanwhile, with episode 8, they decided to just give in to all the criticism and make something super different. They even fired the director to hire a completely different guy. And it just kind of went downhill, if we're being honest. And then when episode 9 came around, they realized their mistake, but at that point, it was too late. And, not to mention, there's a script out there. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but the script of what they were originally going to do with episode 9, at least seemingly, would have been so much better than what they actually did. They just needed to stop second guessing themselves, I think. That's the big thing. That's the big problem, is they kept on going around and being like, but it's not working, what are we gonna do, blah 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 blah. No, you gotta commit to your bit, alright? Episode 8 could have been better if episode 9 actually listened to what was going on. And episode 7 could have been even better if episode 8 didn't change everything. So that's my opinion. Next question is, have I ever been abroad, and if so, which country? So, no. Long story short, no, I've never been abroad. Not that I wouldn't want to go abroad. I think it would be really interesting, really cool to go abroad. But I'm poor. I've always kind of been poor. I mean, not poor. We got by. We still went on vacations, but we never went abroad. We only went to a beach that was like a couple hours away, and that's it. But yeah, I haven't really gone abroad. So, yeah. Do I read books? And what was the last one that I read? No. I don't read books. Not gonna lie to you. I don't. I'm not a reader. I do like comic books, but I have ADHD, and I simply cannot read a book, sit down and read it. I need to be doing something. It's hard for me even to watch a movie, so reading a book is just kind of out of the question. But the last one I've read was probably one of the iFunny books from James Patterson. I really did like those ones. I mean, they are kind of comic booky. That's probably why I liked them. But yeah, probably one of those. That was the whole way back in middle school though, so Anyway, next one is, when did I first play Minecraft? Now that's a great question. I don't actually know the answer to that. I started playing in elementary school on the free version of Pocket Edition. So yeah, there's that. I really can't give you a better answer than that. I don't really know. Next question. What is your first video game? I don't know. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have no idea. There's probably some cheap mobile game that my mom downloaded on the phone to keep me quiet. So like a Smurf City Builder or something. I don't know. I wish I could tell you, but I have no idea. Alright, what's your favorite video game besides Minecraft? Great question. It's really hard to choose. It'd probably have to be one of the Lego games or Pokemon games. I have always liked Pokemon. I've always liked Lego, and so because of that, they kind of vibe, you know? Lego games, I love Lego game humor, so that's probably a big reason why I like the Lego games. But when it comes to the Pokemon games, I think it's just nostalgia that keeps me coming back. I really do like them, but I hear a lot of people talk about improvements that could be made, and I can't fully disagree with what they're saying. Not to get into any specifics, but like, yeah, I do like Pokemon games, so I do like Lego games as well. Those are two games I'd love to be playing on the Turt yet again, but we'll see how that works out. Do my wife or any other members of my family play Minecraft with me? And if so, how often? Yes, I've played a couple times with my wife and with some friends and family. Yeah, I've had good times with friends and family playing Minecraft. And my wife and I actually play Pokemon together a lot. And what we do when we're playing is because we usually play on the Switch. mind you. But she has one controller, I have the other controller, and so I'm walking the character around while she's doing all the attacking and whatnot like that. But in terms of Minecraft specifically, I've played a couple times with my wife. The person I've played with the most over the years has definitely been my brother though, and we haven't played together in a while, unfortunately, but I think that's an actual shame for sure. I'm hoping that maybe we can play together again soon. Maybe I can introduce you guys to the brother of the Turt someday. Yeah, but I've also played with my sister, and my parents never got into the game. Their loss, really. Alright, the next question is, do I like The Lord of the Rings, and do I prefer the movies or the books? I have never seen the movies, I have never read the books. But if I had to choose, I'd probably choose the movies just because, like I said before, but when I was talking about reading and stuff, reading is not my thing. It should be. I should be better at it, but it's just not for me. So because of that, I would have to say probably the movies, because there's almost a 0% chance that I would ever sit down and read the book. The best song and music band, in my opinion. I did kind of answer this earlier, but yeah, I'll rehash it again. I do really like the Broomestix. They haven't released an album in a while, and actually they took one of the albums that they had away, and that's a crying shame. I'm not gonna lie to you, that just makes me so sad. But anyway, and then Laufey. Laufey, I think, is really high up there in terms of just sheer talented music. So yeah, I would recommend checking out either of those two. I also really like Olivia Rodrigo, but like everyone our age does, so shut up. What do I like most about being a YouTuber? Well, it's hard to pick just one thing. I really like the engagement that I get for posting videos. A lot of the time I get a decent amount of love and support from you guys in the comments and things like that, especially on the shorts, but starting to get a little bit more into it in the videos. So I really do appreciate you guys when you guys do that. That is very encouraging, definitely motivates me to keep going. And another thing that I love when it comes to YouTube and all this stuff is just being able to play a game that I like to play and talk over my gameplay and have people listen and eventually talk back. That's pretty cool. I really do like that. To be able to link, what was it, 680 some of you, almost 700 people from around the globe, all based on me? All based on me? That's pretty cool. It's a high standard to have to follow. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. So, yeah. Is there any movie, book, or video game that I really hate? That is a good question. I'll give you a story. Story time. Come, children, gather round. It's time for a little story. One day, there was a young Turt. He was an ultimately good person. He did his homework, he played some video games every now and again, and he had only a few friends in the world. Well, unfortunately, one day, one of his friends got into this game called Fortnite. Now, Fortnite itself did nothing wrong. However, his friend became very good at this game, and therefore the popular kids came running by. Because of all of these activities that the friend was doing, the Turt had less and less time to spend with one of his only friends in the world. He had to make do with his own new persuasion of life. His friend became part of the more popular crowd and continued to live his life very well and very happily. But unfortunately, the Turt could not move on. And even though he tried maybe once or twice to play this so-called Fortnite, it didn't go well. The Turt was not very good, and therefore his friend was lost to him. They still got along very well, but unfortunately there simply wasn't time for both of them to hang out together, and therefore the Turt grew resentment for a game he barely played. Yeah, that and all this. Also, I'm not a huge fan of first-person shooter games or third-person shooter games. Any shooter game. That's just not really my style. But I don't know. Maybe I'll revisit that idea if you guys are interested. But yeah, I have a little bit of resentment towards it. So there's that. And now for the last question from DPRK. What is my main goal in my YouTube career? Honestly, I just wanna... It sucks to say this because so many people want this and they don't get it, but I'm hoping that I have the grit to make it happen. I want to make this a job. I really shouldn't say this because I feel like I'm just jinxing myself, but I do. I want to make this a job. And I think with your guys' help, I can do that. So, to do that, I'm going to need to start making money from this, and I'm currently not making any, unfortunately, but we'll get there. We'll get there. And then I'm going to have to figure out budgeting and all sorts of stuff like that. That'll happen eventually. But honestly, yeah, the big thing is I want to make this a job. I want to be able to support my family off of this job, my eventual bigger family off of this job, same people, just more of them. And I want to be able to do that. And a big thing that I want to do someday is I want to do like, you know how Hermitcraft has that Gamers Outreach live stream? Yeah, I want to do something like that. That's a big dream. That's far and away, but I would really like to do stuff like that. Charity streams and charity events and things like that. I would love to do that. Unfortunately, I have no viewers on my Twitch, twitch.tv/theTurtYT. Yeah, I feel like I could make a difference in that world, in this world, if I get a little bit bigger and I can start doing stuff like that, like charity streams or things like that. So yeah, that's those two things. I want to be able to support myself and my family, and I want to be able to take a couple weeks out of the year to plan and take part in charity streams. That's the big thing. That's what I want to do. That's my main goals. But that's all the questions from DPRK. Let's see who else has some questions. All right, the next question is from K_YSL_ER. I'm gonna call you Keisler. I don't know if that's your name. Feel free to correct me in the comments. But there are a couple questions here, and they ask, what is my inspiration that makes me want to be a Minecraft YouTuber? I really enjoy the Imp Skizz podcast. I think those two people are great motivations if you're thinking about starting a Minecraft YouTube channel. Look to them for advice. They have tons of episodes on content creation, and every episode they dive into maybe a little bit more about what you're getting into, and I really enjoy listening to their podcast. So that's a big inspiration for me in terms of just personality. And then of course my family is a big inspiration for who I am as a person. So that's my dad, my mom, my brother, my sister, my wife. All those people influence a lot of how I act as a person and a lot of what I do on this channel of mine. Now, when it comes to Minecraft YouTubers specifically, I would have to say Shrammy is a very big influence for me. He's just a really chill guy, so I really enjoy sitting back and relaxing and watching some of his videos. That's just, I enjoy it. So Shrammy, big inspiration. Another inspiration for me would probably be Welsknight. He's not as active anymore, and I think that's a shame. He's a great guy from what I can tell, and I really enjoy watching his videos. I recently went back, started the beginning of his Kingdom series as a comfort watch, I guess. So yeah, those are my options for that. And they also asked, what motivation will you give if... What's my advice? What is my motivational speech for someone who wants to become a Minecraft YouTuber? Alright, sit down kids. This is what you're gonna need. You're gonna need a lot of skills. More than you think. It's not just sit down, press record. It's sit down, press record, and then you're gonna need to learn how to edit. You're gonna need to learn how to do audio, and you're gonna need to get a good mic. You're gonna need to... There's a lot of little moving pieces that you're gonna have to figure out. Not to mention, you're going to need thick skin. You're not gonna be able to let those mean comments hurt you, because if they do, you're down and out. You're not gonna want to do this anymore. So you're gonna have to have the grit and the motivation that this is what you want to do. But all of that being said, I really do enjoy doing this. If you honestly think that you could see yourself doing the sort of thing that I'm doing right now, or that the Hermits do, or that any other big popular Minecraft YouTuber does, Flip, Mythical Sausage, anybody, if you think that you could see yourself there and be happy, I think you gotta give it a shot. And even if you only slightly, a little bit think, give it a shot. Because if you don't, you're always gonna wonder, So I guess that's my motivation. It's kind of more of a warning, but I promise you, if you really want to do this, you'll do it. And you'll be good at it. I think I'm decent at it. I'm still learning. I'm still moving forward and getting better, but I'm doing well. I think I'm getting somewhere. Okay, Dan on TikTok commented, "Where do I get my dedication?" Well, just kind of the way I was brought up, I suppose. I really do enjoy making the content, and if it's something that I want to do as a career one day, I know I have to put in the work and put in the grit. So because of that, I think I'm a little bit more prone to actually do something about it, because it's just something that I would like to do, and that itself motivates me. Plus, you guys, of course, constantly helping me and promoting my content in your own ways is definitely a big asset to that. Not to mention the sheer amount of awesomeness that is my wife and some of my friends. I don't have many, but the ones who are around, they give me some courage to keep going. So yeah, those are that would be, I suppose, what my answer is. MKA4612 asked, "What is a YouTuber or someone who has influenced you incredibly?" Alright, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna give you a couple answers, because one's simply not enough. So, a couple YouTubers who have influenced me over this time on my channel have been Mr. Skizzleman and Impulse SV. Why, might you ask? Well, it's mainly because of their podcast. I mean, yeah, I really do enjoy their videos too, especially Skizz. Go check Skizz out if you haven't, seriously. But their podcast has helped me a lot with anxiety over all of the working things out with content creation and this and that and the other thing and blah 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 blah. You know what I'm talking about. So because of that, I would have to say they are a big influence into how I make videos and things like that. Otherwise, big influences for me are like my father, my mother, big important people in my life just taught me how to be who I am. So thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad. And of course, the biggest influence is the missus. So I already talked about her a little bit, but thank you to the missus once again. Burger on TikTok commented, "When's your face reveal gonna happen?" And this is kind of a loaded topic, if I'm being honest. I don't know if I'm gonna do that. I kind of admire the people who haven't revealed their face, like some of the hermits, for instance, Exuma and Etho. They haven't revealed their faces, and that, while they can't go to like big in-person public events and do anything like that, which is a shame, they also can live their private life without having to worry about people coming up to them and harassing them and doing things like that. So I haven't decided if I'm gonna reveal my face yet. I'm leaning towards no, because I'm not sure, but I don't know. It's also like a safety thing for my family to make it so that they don't have to worry. Easy's fine though. We can show pictures of Easy's face every day, because he's a dog. That was a lot of the questions from you guys, but just like the last Q&A, in case you haven't seen it, go ahead and watch it now. But just like the last Q&A, my wife has given me a couple questions that I can answer for you. So there's no better option of where to record the wife's questions than over here in her castle. So let's go ahead and get to that. Question number 1 from the missus. If you could meet any Minecraft YouTuber, but only one, which one would it be? That's a good question. I'm gonna go with my number 1 choice of who to be next to YouTube and stuff. So I'm gonna say that I'd probably choose Skizz. I think I'd choose Skizz because he has a really good philosophy on life, from what I remember from his podcasts and episodes and things like that. And I personally, I really like listening to him talk, and I'd love to get inspiration from him and motivation from him and things like that. So I think Skizz is probably my answer. Now, here comes another doozy. If I could join one series which one would I join? Now, a lot of you might think that I would say Hermitcraft. And realistically, you'd probably be right, because I don't think the answer that I'm about to tell you is maybe ever going to come back, and that's really quite sad. It's really quite sad. But regardless, I think I would most want to join the Empire's SMP, series-wise. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed the Empire's SMP when it first came out, and it was a big motivation for a lot of the things that I enjoy about Minecraft, and actually it was a pretty big motivation for how I do stuff on Minecraft. Like, when they started their server, they showed what you can do with Minecraft, and I think that is a big reason why I do Minecraft videos, because once that server came out and they started getting into lore and storytelling in the server in Minecraft, I was like, whoa, I can use Minecraft as a vessel to create a movie or a series or something along those lines. And I have tons of ideas in my head for like ideas of using Minecraft as a form of animation or something along those lines to make that sort of stuff. Stay tuned. I might actually do that. I'm not sure yet. But because of that, yeah, I would have to say Empires, because I think not only is Empires my favorite Minecraft server to watch, it is a big reason that I am here today. At least I think so. So, yeah, that's my answer. Next thing is the missus who asked, who is my cozy YouTuber? Now, I'm pretty sure this means who is like my comfort YouTuber, and for that I would have to say there's a couple. Shrammy is a big one. I really enjoy his chill vibe. It's something I try to capture on my Minecraft world myself. I don't know how great I am at it, but it's a big thing I try to harness so that you guys can have a cozy atmosphere as well when you get off work or get out of school or whatever you're doing right now in your life. I just want to give you relaxation. I don't want to give you anxiety or anything like that. So yeah, Shrammy is probably my cozy YouTuber, but there's also Welsknight. Like I said before, I've recently restarted watching his Kingdom series, where he just goes around in his survival world and builds different kingdoms. Sound familiar? And I really enjoy watching that. That's if I'm ever in bed and my wife's fast asleep and I can't seem to fall asleep to whatever video that we had put on to watch to go to sleep, Kingdom is probably the video that I got on YouTube to try and fall asleep to. So there's your comfort right there. Now, what is one common building block in Minecraft that people really like, but I don't like? That's a good question. Actually, I think I might have to look in the inventory for that one. Ba-da-da, da-da, ba-da-da-da-da, ba-ba-ba-da-da-da-da, ba-ba-da-da-da. Alright, we're gonna take a quick little trip here. So this is the stuff that I think is the block that I would choose for this. And what is it? It's dead coral. Now, here's the problem with dead coral. Yeah, it's a cool stone-ish block, but one, it's hard to get. Two, it just seems wrong. Like, yeah, they added it in the game for a reason, but that reason wasn't really to build with. It was to show that if you don't treat coral reefs with respect and proper health, then they're just going to die. If you interact with a coral reef, it's probably going to die. That's the point of these blocks. And I don't like that people use them, really. They're kind of pretty, I'm not gonna lie, especially the brain coral one. That one's pretty cool. It's like cobblestone, but inverted, I guess. So I can see the allure of using them. I just personally, I don't think I'm going to use them because I feel like it's wrong. I think that's my answer. And we're going back into the castle just for the last question here. What would have been my second choice for an animal Minecraft skin if it wasn't the Turt? Well, I feel like if I had the name the Turt and I was a different Minecraft animal, that it would just kind of feel wrong. So it's kind of a hard question to answer, but I'd have to say, I don't know, I really like dogs, I really like monkeys, but I feel like those skins would look kind of weird because there's a humanoid dog would label me as a furry, which if that's your lifestyle, go for it, I don't care, but it's not mine. And a humanoid monkey is just I guess it's just kind of a regular monkey. But yeah, I'd probably go with a monkey because I'd probably end up just being Monkey Boy something online, and that would be my handle. So yeah, I'd probably just go with the monkey. But yeah, that is all of the questions. Thank you all for submitting your questions, and thank you to the misses for coming up with a couple more just to make this video a little bit longer. And yeah, like I said, guys, thank you so much for all of your support and watching all the way through my videos when I have videos that are all the way. I appreciate it. I couldn't do this without you. There's no way I could do it without you, honestly. So thank you. Please, take care of yourselves. Peace out, and God bless.